the fax machines on the 9th December 2021 for many hours. The fax machines in the strong room were not working. Was the fax machine was also slow.
Instead of that pre-arranged transmission system for the regional collation, colleague Dr. Kwesa White and I, on many occasions, pointed out errors in figures and words on the sheets that were brought in, which ultimately affected totals and assigned results. This sometimes led to EC officials making phone calls on the basis of which they sought to explain and correct some of the things we pointed out. I cannot tell to whom those phone calls were made. I cannot tell if the calls were to EC officials or to some other people who were also involved in collation processes. There was no transparent process in this regard. 9. Thus, for instance, when we pointed out problems on the Eastern Regional Collation sheet, another one was subsequently brought in and claimed to be a corrected version. Obviously, that into bracket corrected version could not have been what was produced at the Regional Collation Center at the time the collation was done and was, therefore, not an authentic document. The only way to establish the authenticity of that document was for the original to be made available and a transparent process undertaken in the presence of agents of the candidate for any correction to be affected. 10. Some of the time, when the officials of the EC said they were correcting errors, their officials had already signed the regional summary sheets, and yet they accepted that corrections were needed. At other times, when we queried certain collation results from the regional levels, they were quick to say, once your representatives have signed, the only relief available for you is to go to court. 11. I must admit, I was misled by the position of the EC officials into signing the regional collation sheet for the Ashanti region simply because there was a signature of the agent of the petitioner at the Regional Collation Center on that sheet. I later found out from speaking with officials at the party headquarters that what had been presented on the signed collation form was not consistent with a tally of police station results in the Ashanti region.
So bisa question
Pesa White. Say original agent no. Kwamizu any
the sign.
Roger Jemfi
and no say I almost sign no bisa and say most sign here no say Roger Metal no sign one ne witness we no so watro say and was signing here na as our more dad.
No, intina o use the word I was misled.
Misled net say. Brofo be am kan.
Just EC agents and officials no and just omo a man no troy a man sign.
Wabra no how
omo man GD say or how be any who is some original rep no kra assign that.
Na say how baba ho ntini ye do court na ho.
But was say mu say fax machine na nka beba no a work a strong room one omo nyina be hu say regional collation results no ba no. Fax machine na say na asa e bi ye adwuma so go through. Enti na ye rasrebo edifi paper ni free baby and what the strong room
na omo de ba no wetimi ahwe no mo aso so correction
ba no mo aso correction
na it was mo bogu say we dey
there's a sign that there ya who cost strong room kana na regional collation center mbaye no na SSA constituency one de bari na no the owo constituency collation center one wo strong room na say one contact
Yeah.
Now what contact person so a party headquarters and a baby a party
so project number there.
Oh, there be
in general. As I said, what the
coalition center number. We are what's saying the party no coalition center so you about contact person. And if I say kwame na party W no what strong rumor say me na me party no coalition center. Me na me a contact person.
Yeah.
Nti yen keka bobomu a ese kwame na frɛ me.
Yeah.
Yen Nigeria ono na war constituency and regional coalition center hono bekasa. Nigeria confirming number to us.
Yeah.
Kwame na frɛ ya so the same figure sign. There be man sign. It's na why were they misled? And I'm sorry.
And they said that we no cry no question very relevant. This question is very relevant because on cry watch them our the witness with them I say by cross examination and then my question very relevant and then but this question is irrelevant.
You do a okay 19 but you do
20 I have to 32.
What they kind
answer your best sign answer signature.
Witness statement point 12 and paragraph 12. Or say it is my express understanding that the entire election processes require, very importantly, a transparent assembling and collation of results so that no single vote of those who cast valid votes is left out of account, and not one invalid vote is included in the votes taken into account. It is also my understanding that nothing other than votes cast validly at one of the accredited 38,622 polling stations should be favored into the collation at the 275 constituency collation centers through to the 16 regional centers and on to the EC strong room. At each stage, evidently, corrections could be made in accordance with due process.
Okay, point 13. At the time when I first went to the office of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission on 8 December 2020, I wanted to bring it to her attention that what was going on in the strong room could not lead to a declaration by her of the results of the end of the day, as she had promised the country. She actually told me in response that the concerns I had raised were genuine and she would have them looked into. 14. Even by the 9th December 2020, there was obviously no regional coalition undertaking for Bono East, and no regional coalition Form 11 was brought into the strong room by the time that my colleague, Dr. Pesa White, and I left the premises of the Electoral Commission. We also knew that there were other outstanding regional summary sheets that had not been discussed, much less presented to be certified by agents of the candidates. 15. In respect of the Eastern region, 2 separate summary sheets were sent to the EC strong room. Both could not be authentic. Only by getting the originals of these documents can there be clarity on exactly which is the genuine form from the region. 16. In respect of Greater Accra region, we observe that the total votes given to the petitioner, which is meant to be based on the sum of all constituency votes, on the face of the regional summary sheets presented was less than his actual total. We also observe that the regional summary sheets published by the EC, while the process was ongoing, had different figures compared to the one given to us in the National Collation Center. 17. There is a difference of 1,707 votes between the regional summary sheets presented to us in the strong room and the one published on the EC's website, and there has been no explanation for this. That was one of the things in respect of which we asked the party headquarters to have the election directorate go back to the polling station level data to ascertain what the correct figures were. We were waiting to get feedback on that, among other things, when we heard the declaration of results by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Yeah, I will take 18.
In respect of the Northern region, we observed 2 regional results summary sheets were brought into the National Coalition Center strong room. One was without signatures of the agents for the candidates, and the second had no signature of the NDC agent for the region, but had signatures of MPP, GUM, CPP, and PPP only. By getting the originals of these documents, can there be clarity on the exactly which is the genuine form from the region? 19. On the Western North summary sheet, the regional representative for the petition did not sign and gave the reason for not signing. This was duly noted by the noted by the strong room representatives. I made a mistake when I signed the summary sheet in the EC strong room. At that time I signed, I missed the fact that the agent at the Regional Coalition Center had stated clearly the reason for not signing. We made the EC officials aware that the agent at the Regional Coalition Center had not signed and had given a reason for not signing. 20. I would have pointed out my mistake to the chairperson of the EC if she had come for the process of assembling and collating results, as she was required to do. In the event she never came, in any case, officials of the EC, being aware of the reasons given on the form by the agent of the petitioner for not signing, could not just disregard it and claim that once I had signed the summary sheet, the matter was closed. 21. I must also say that the fact that I signed sheets in respect of number of regions shows clearly that my colleague and I were not there to put spokes in the wheel of the process of getting the proper basis for the constitutionally appropriate declaration of the results of the presidential election to be made. Kwamina.
22. It was in the light on the experiences of different regional certification processes and the posture of the EC officials in the strong room on 9 December 2020 that, on behalf of my colleague and myself, I sought to consult with the chairperson of the EC, the returning officer herself. I also needed to receive feedback on the concerns I conveyed to her the previous day, particularly as I had learnt from officials at the NDC headquarters before I got to the EC headquarters on 9th December 2020 that there was likely to be a stakeholder meeting of key players in the presidential elections with participation of local and international observers, media and civil society groups, and the EC to address concerns that the NDC had raised about the
Chairman, I got your phone number. That's my lady.
Rate number J1/5/2021. John Dramani Mahama. This is Electoral Commission of Ghana. Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. John Dramani Mahama, please. Johnson, I see you doing Ketia. My Lord, is representing the petitioner. My Lord, Jane Mesa, chairperson, is representing the first respondent. Mr. Peter McMahon is representing the second respondent. Your Lordships, please, I appear for the petitioner, and with me, my learned friend, Tony Lither. May it please my lords, Justin Amenuvo appears for the first respondent, with me, A.A. Somwa Samoa. Pleases your lordships. Kotuampa appears for the second respondent. My lords, with me are my learned colleagues Frank Davis, Kwekwe Srifi, and Yao Feng. Lords, our next witness is Mr. Robert Joseph Mesolnuno, and he is appearing remotely, and I believe he can be connected. I wish to raise a number of issues for consideration before we address the matter of the witness statement. My lords, my first concern is whether we have a judicial officer where the witness will be testifying from, so that we are certain that there's nobody or no means of prompting him when questions are asked, because this is very important in our view.
We discussed in detail the modalities for this evidence and the concerns which were raised by counsel on the other side, and we all took it into consideration. So, Mr. Nakotampa, let's move on and do some business.
Since that discussion, in fact, that very day, they wrote waiving those confidential matters.
Yes.
And therefore, we are saying that this is a trial. Normally, even when somebody is giving evidence from abroad, you have an officer present whilst he's giving evidence. I think this is a very fundamental issue I'm raising.
Mr. Kotampa, why didn't you come with the other counsel into chambers to tell us this morning?
My lords, because we were told that this matter will be discussed, the case is now to be in public. That is why. Otherwise, I would have done that. But I submit that this is a very major concern for the second respondent. We want to be sure that the witness is not being prompted or given any assistance. And that can only be properly done if there is some oversight by an official of the court.
What's your next concern? You said you have a number.
Yes, my lord. My next concern is your lordships will notice from the witness statement and the attached statement of truth that the attached statement of truth reads, I, Robert Joseph Mesolnuno, say that I am the witness herein, and that I made this statement
respect of this presidential election petition, and that to the best of my knowledge and honest belief, paragraphs 1 to 16 of the witness statement are true to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief. Now, that means that the witness has only sworn to paragraphs 1 to 16 of the witness statement.
Mr. Kutampa, what are the legal arguments around this?
No, my lord, I'm coming to the point.
No, Mr. Kutampa, I thought you said you had some preliminary matters.
Yes.
No, wait. Now, I think this you raise when an attempt is made to put the statement into the proceedings. So we'll take the preliminary ones. This relates to the statement itself.
Very well. Available to your lordship's guidance.
With the first preliminary issue that you raised, I think we can observe his demeanor. I mean, you can observe his demeanor if somebody is talking to him or passing the document to him. We can observe from the screen. So I don't think.
My Lord, can I be of assistance to the court? My Lord, may I be of assistance to the court? My Lord, we are completely in agreement with the principle that a judicial officer can be in attendance. We have absolutely no problem about that. And my Lord,
Peter, can you speak into the microphone?
I'm sorry.
Otherwise, we lose the record.
In terms of that principle, it's very clear. We are not in objection. So it should take perhaps not more than 25 minutes to have a judicial officer present at the location where he is to allay the fears. So respectfully, my lords, if a judicial officer can be designated, that judicial officer can go to the venue, which, you know, I mean, that should not be a problem.
Would it be safe? How proximate can this judicial officer get? What you have told us.
My lord, in fact, I'm certain there's actually a medical officer also in attendance at the location. So I'm sure that he can have a discussion with our medical officer in terms of the issues that your lordship is addressing. I'm pretty certain about that. The medical officer has provided a letter also to the court, and I believe that he can address that issue. Currently, according to the review from the day that your lordships granted us indulgence, that issue really does not arise currently. But the judicial officer probably can actually be in the room because I think, as far as I recall about the judicial officer can just go there, and in conjunction with both the medical officer and
please, we will adjourn for 30 minutes and consider this. No, you will send somebody. Yes. Okay. Yes, we will arrange with you through the registrar. Yeah, okay.
All rise.
What's na a lawyer for the second respondent, a lawyer Kutuampao. I can say our consents. Miunubi mi sabi opese Osheneja ye titifil one temptem. Ne hawa ne edikan pa NSA. Solo from phone brem. This is a live show, don't worry. Some because from phone brem. What brem so amaji.
Why yera kotampa? You know how we di kind say witness no new one yera metal no Joseph Robert metal no. So oba be ekasa wo camera mu no. Nyanyambia no court no ankasa rep. Ewo dan ni mu bia na because se obi ni ho dia na obi betimi eden krata na nwoma bia ma no bra omo ni kasa no obetimi apase on bibia na aka bibia chere ya aka ni say ya fafa ha ni ade no na judge for no ba ko kasa na asemo ya okay se ekotena se di nkomai wanka ho asema na pe kura se ne ka
sanka mo betimi aba ha ya kwakura na
pe betimi aba me ye di ho nkomo ansa o be reziwa u de jajame ntwa so
na kotampa se da bi
se da bi atwa so say
yenim sanka nchehye no ho pepepe se mo ye eno enti amba ne sa
eno am say any on can the problem number 2 because o say dosh into number 2 no ko raise krata na de e kan na pay say baby appointers no one hwe number 1 number 2 number 3 na ye kan no up to 16 o share conclusion na yera Joseph Robert Joseph Metal no the conclusion no as was swear to 1 up to 16 instead of 1 up to 32 and I judge back say
mamen kan statement of truth we share statement now the last one patrofato so pagwesoma no nyentem mai or say I Robert Joseph Metal no say that I am the witness herein and that I made the statement in respect of this presidential election petition and that to the best of my knowledge and honest belief paragraphs 1 to 16 of the witness statement is true to the best of my knowledge information and belief
I don't know ka ho asem no radio show 16 32 ntina de aka no
obi na trauma no
eno de we na wo na aka kan meka no but contempt ntina
there be obi na trauma no ana question
ntina me kan say we kra no question relevant or no relevant
this is an irrelevant question
even answer ntina de aka no na no opa tre say woni ho asem kan na and na judge ba ko say oh na on tobo ade mu ye fa kra meto ho say eno ne ye be yi so aye nti wo de twa mo famra na eduru na wo bi sa fe what me raise so enem court no de direction ade ama me mate media atum no otena se ho na ye racha tutikata so sore ye no so oh de akotampa wo kano as my lord the o can say ye ne ye adwen ene nka mo bi kwa akọ court you know ekọ ho anka nye bad sa no now so say my can say ento aso na ka we na so oh but you see okay anyway send your doctor kra wo dan ni mu enti say doctor no so de ne woman ba court ho so wo dan ni mu enti say doctor no kra na ye be bisa ne say what say no bi wo ho bi o ma apart from no ana say bibi sa no so betime possible yes sir 25 minutes per
obi department betime
court ni betime to free out to the place sometime ne ya man kwan ma na wura dem ho bi na wa hwede ne amasi ko ne ade ena ejo mo de asore
ti wo mo kwadwene no ho aba na se court no beji atum se obi nko ho na chachuka se bibi suba bibi
it depends on na go ya kan
ya kan ya kono
it depends on what is wrong with Rojo Metal
no ti so kokana what is wrong no if somebody is not permitted to be in there
it's not possible
if it is not possible then it is not possible because if it is possible then
the person will be possible to enter.
Then it is possible to enter. But if the thing is not possible, you cannot even touch that doll.
If the thing is not possible, it's only a doctor, nurse, possible, red danger place.
And if you look at the beginning of the lawyer for the petitioner,
yes,
he did not actually object.
No,
what was raised
at all.
He also agreed that somebody should from the judicial service should be sent there.
But doctor is there.
But when you are told about the decision, you go.
If you are told this is school and you the rep will go.
If you want to go.
If you want to go.
So bring that portion back. Na yen kan e ho no minimsa kofi ho nya eti baby lawyer Kotampa kan no eno na edase no statement of truth no
when the second concerns are na concern
no
no so first one here the absence of a court official or the location of
that's right anyway the second concern and say say I Robert to me actually why do any prejudicial.
And also before so who say prejudicial no.
I Robert Joseph Metal Nuno say that me Robert Joseph Metal Nuno me kase I am the witness herein. Me dancing
sir.
And that I made this statement in respect of this presidential election petition.
Sir.
So me trust our dance the woman. It was sir abato home when you went here.
Sir.
And that, to the best of my knowledge and honest belief. To the best of my knowledge and honest belief. Paragraph 1 to 16 of the witness statement is true.
Yes, sir. Paragraph ba kukosi dunsia.
It's true to the best of my knowledge. Information or belief. Kofi Adumawani ewo ahomano so efi the Supreme Court of Ghana. Kofi Mache.
Captain Metonka Major so na meka say meka say the court ewo break kakra within 30 minutes and sana wo mo assign aba e ball sima duba ko epa nondu ho a na wo mo call sa break na de ekoba ne sa meka say ya no ote ya the urban say court ayi obi a ese wo ko ba bia ye rojo metal no ewo no enti sare na wote ewo back no car said ye chachuchi kata extreme no within 25 minutes no ba bia rojo metal no wo no ese car no etumi eduru ho enti eno wen na wote ewo background no asame sha ase wo sha ni chebi na be sima duba ko pepe na ekoba se wo mo atena ye no ekonkon kakra ni nyina na se baby Rojo Metununo no one womunya dancing ho na utie lawyer kutampa objection or raise ye no atemwafo no bisa say na sansem ya wo kan senka oba obetumi abadem a we kan kire ho no say my lord dey minim ne say na nkasa asem we enya asem a yebedi a wo pete mu say dey na ye yin we TV si enti no sansa kire ne sesae eno na ama na minim se beba be hye dem ho ne ya kasa asem nyina enti sa akoba ne say ya na enchiremu a ewo mu eno no enti eno na ama sabri akoba se wo mo akọ atwenye mu kakra said the otimuafo no kan sima aduasa eno wo mo hwe ani mu se wo besan aba with the understanding says 30 minutes no enu no na wo mo atumi ede obi ekoho se ka se 25 minutes obi a free court ha o ye adwuma court abetumi akoho a but otimuafo no asem obi saye no a ama na nsantwefo wo hanyina obi e ka se opani nipa ya de ya yempese de betu dwa ne ade questions a wo bi saye de ama o de adwen ya akoho se obi sa se na nipa no koho a se oben rojo bebre a eye safe de ye nim say ade ba akoso na ye say abesinsen wie mu a oben nipa no a enye ye ntira man santwefo ne ka se aha yanka na say speculations ahodo na ekoso no ase adwen ya kwakosi no so but it has not been confirmed ni nyina no eye putting one or two together na ama adwen ne kwakoye se rojo metununo baby or isolation and I say a doctor for a channel na enunti no obi be ben no na be hawa na adwene ba bia eko eno no nti say make us say no ye wa twenye mu se niema ba kwa na mienu bi be kosa de eseko ansana yetumi atwa assembly no so the key one and say dansini and I say obi a oye adwuma e court ha e be kwa kwatena rojo metenu no nchen uti otemuafo no ba kwa na opese wo kyerɛ mu say oh since the eba be no remotely say ye through Zoom and I say through Skype so be can same guna so a ye be hu if you say obehwa obo so bi obeyo nani akonchen obo say obehwa nchen ebe mo hu say obi air prompt no because na lawyer apau na how to true pa and say akoba ne say obi e wo hwa na questions a obi sa no cross examination no na obi akogina nchen a o ma no fila and nti ana ya de a wo mo hunu ne se be ha adwen but atwe se ne de one ne ya adwen pa na enye problem ama ben me kakra ye hwese ye ne anche ne lawyer Maleba bedi enkom officer ono so raise some key points bi ono kra de se se be ye kra anka ada chachuchi kata be cross exam electoral commission no ye declare no holiday as to the reason ne de ebi de asre kakra but ye ne bedi enkom sisia enche ye di kan esike ne consent ne bedi
Akovi Pacho we say
de uhunu
we say lawyer Amaliba said da Chachube cross-examine Mami Jane Mensah, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, no, you declare a national holiday.
Yeah, I see a nickel a national holiday if it's a very historic. And actually, no Ghana for more combat Rasso Bessia, a better lawyers, no ever doso. See, declare no holiday. If you say, who say, a dano beyer das from Coa, a mununkum no crabes, but members say, me in some free num. Enche, and anybody sang common one my further clarification, the entire Osusune na the end wohunu war petata cremo. Ama Stevie no is it big enough? Mama was nipa hono. How is it like? Yes, one thing I captain bet me testify and say ne. When say you feed they break beer previously the baby I am marking. I honey there tripod the see the camera no esi so. Umuvu kakra bia se opania fa short pe na link no e break ni nyina ne se wo mo james e wo Supreme Court ha no the understanding necessary ba say bia obi transmit ade bia court no empene so anasa ade bia si na court no pese or prevent say no this one should not go out ombetimi jam the whole area just for checks wo mankasa enti e ha ho mo bie ne kakra. And because of that network reception, any papa cry. No meaning say one more doom now because oh share say me phone the cremia 4G full. Bibia the mu cray ye feed no so but no for beja to me say ne mo hu ye nim pepepe ni nyina dia dance say obatoto ne ma na ba kwa na mienu but then na ede me basa ma screen na ho no mo be hu no pepepe abra na o mo sha say na radio edi kan beto so na say womunya mfa no ntoso
me dan say bra ye di kan fi ase no ye wura court dem baby ayen yete no esro ho eye atemuafo na pampem won screen ya emienu ne bo ho eya kese emienu e na ohun se atemuafo ne nso e face sei nti baby o mu face no so screen no kakraka e no so sen mienu na ebo ye ho no e na mo so hwe so e bra ye wura ma no pe ne me hu say ya tro RM eye Robert Ninisias no ena ewo so na ebra ye fi ase metal ena na ya tro ewo so na no ena ebra ye fi ase na sa letters mienu e pena na ewo so nti ye fi ase na emu ena atemu afo ye kwese ani ye bo ase je ka se ye fi ase nti ye ka se ye fi ase na me hu se judicial service man ba kwa sorry na wakọ ne laptop hu nti ye ya ena ni phone no ebeto so na fe ye hu no ewo videos bebe ye tene de ye hwe screen akese mienu so ameka se ye fi ase no na ni initials RM ne penny achos but ye start here ape eno no ankasa ebeto so a na ohun nanim ye infitian say obai kra no hye nose mask na eda na bodwe asese kosi say minim so bi prompt na na wo share ya enti meka say bebe yet de ye hwe e screen akase mienu so
o hwe no a from the surroundings no ye the oxygen sin so ya man does it look scary say edu baby ade hu wo mo work conditions bi mu say dey na hu no na it say in environment no
on kasa ye ntimi nka say nenne no bia ye be hu say popo a che say obi o yare serious ana but hu say ote ho obi ote ho wa hye natade mi hu ye nhye den twa ne mama ye hu say ye suit na hye na lacoste na hye na long sleeves keke e na hye no na memu hu say e yade a wote table eho na ebra Ora kutampa lawyer ni sorry say o start akansem say ohun ni say adenti na ya ma na bia Bible Quran na won fe ninsi ankanta me sans asem we enye obi beka se nkwala asem a ye beka na obeka sasa on so e wo oath so no ni ehun say wa ma ne nsa so mo obi sign say na wo fro bi say omra wo say na o ka asem na achiro bi a obi entimi hu ba na hu say o hwe ya ye hwe wo screen na wo twa nani a ye beka say ofro bi we nyina ka ho bi na ora kutampa e ka say da bi ohun ni say edem ho no bia no bi wo ho a ye ka se biewe a ana se ye de ngoma we kire na no bi na ekwakotam e de a kire na se ye bisa no question no bi na ekoka gu na so migiri se we nyina ka ho bi enti na temafo ne so se da bi de di kan ese se ye mo officer bi kwa ye be hu se Bible no pe se Quran no pe se cross no pe ye de be ma no aka ntam adi nse ansa na so onipa no migiri se obetena ne nchen ahwe se obi emeka bibi nwu na sum ana se obi nra odo o maka chachu aka se oni doctor ene wo ho
che lawyer Maleba mame ye ne lawyer Maleba ebehwe na yatwa so briefly na yahwe ensam no nchemu kakra bi na yenhwe especially with regards to say the assembly ebesi akọ na afi ye de nchemu no abro Maleba briefly yemo akaba
mejimo so
mpombo kode
me ho ya pa
sorry sir to say also you say bayanka there ebedi church the Nickel national holiday.
Oh yes. And now says law students were ho on person on sua ade. Law students were. And obi a wo hwe proceedings e wo ha. Ebeje tum say certificate kasa e wo court it say or lecture room. Enti and so nipa krona wo ye the center of all this in some sema e dey buy Jim Mensa. Now most more kai say in the last petition no Chajikata any Dr. Baumia mu say na esikoye no ekodu baby Baumia can say you and me were not there. Now me and you were not there no and na oti witness box mo. Enti me kansa to ensure say nkrofo be hu say sa da no one Ghana be there. Two sa da no ena ye be hu ne ewo kotriyam. And so everybody should focus on that day. That's what I'm you declare holiday for people you say and they may not be concentrating. And 7th December no obia okoto aba no e person hu ne ekoso. So that day should be declared a holiday for law students to learn from, for omo amokoto aba no to see what actually happened, because one of the most critical witness in this matter. So that day, I me feel say that day say to me my holiday now be a TV no ebeye.
And very interesting as well, Anna, because I think this is the first time ebeye remote cross examination.
Yes, if you talk about election petitions, but ordinary course no obi kura mpo timi etina abrochire, then there will be some cross examination. Inti enye sononko for the judiciary, but sononko for the Supreme Court in terms of the election petition. Into yes, no correct.
But no, doesn't it? In fact, Bibiama, when say na feed a delay kakra, ubi so be question, be take small way answer and depend on at as is the way our power responses no and negative in any way.
And no, it's about technology. Into and no, and yes, ebe affect Bibia, ebe slow mom, in some instances, so it will freeze. But we hope, sir, these things will not happen, so that the evidence can flow smoothly.
Okay. And they say, "Nipa no aya rational. I don't know. Kono you be your judgment court and the rule by saying,
your ball case no, your fair case no, and na akotampa. Sorry, kasa say, baby a witness no one no. If fata say, you benya judicial officer so that sa judicial officer no, ebe share say." Obia emma witness no information what the betuja. And I say sorry, Chajukata sorry, I can't say no dear. Your witness no, he's capable. When here Obia say ebia obe prompt nti ebeya omonfa judicial officer no call. Nti who say judicial officer no amode call with a motorcade. Almost say by 30 minutes and the drew her, and then we can continue.
But then you say initially Nankarojo or Mayor Dancini. You say Dr. Kwesa White the enough. Dear Nama and necessity say or yare but still said na dance here be can asemi.
There be anyano correct. You can say the 5 witnesses baba. Inti ye the 2 buyer. At the corner mayamfa rojo die amba no. Eye insema onimi say no home fa no. And you need some precautions before you can go to him and take. You can, you will know now. And you say obi na esi ye a ye de ne ba na wo ka ho dada but the circumstance no and e man ba sa.
Does it mean we should expect more witnesses?
Oh, there be one no dear no. All witness statements have been filed. But one no dear no yantimi am file because of the circumstance.
Witness statement then you say true and I'm file.
One no dear was a special case. It says as we speak now, say obia witness statement any court anuma anya dia with mama evidence. One no dear no so nko because of the circumstances.
And what do you expect today finally?
And then we'll take the Zoom evidence given. No, say a coin at the hoa ebia, they will let Jim Mensah come into the witness box. Say a coin so endorse they may say Monday we come for Jim Mensah to go into the witness box.
All right, then lawyer Amaliba and Yanino Edi and common on T.
Kofi, what's speculating?
Onion statement now on person be discuss you'll be health condition now you need dance ube to me aben on can insist on yeah sure nana be nipa cross examine remotely in the 10 lawyer ampao edu baby and mampania lawyer for edu baby intro na bayra whichever how are they going to read this silent sign language? Say, do you know Robert Joseph Robert no
that was don't worry. Me clinic for no me friends
strangely just
bien yɛde TV saba hɔ a ɛgya yɛ teki ɔno nso no baabi ɔwɔ no ɛna yɛ yɛ lawyer ba no so
Robert Metal Bruce I will give in nothing but the now you have put in a witness statement, right? Lord, my Lord, we have a witness statement. Adopted. And do you have a copy with you? Yes, my Lord, I have a copy of the
My Lord, we wish to that
yes, my Lord.
Objection document for now, I'll abide by my learned colleagues.
The witness statement has a statement of truth attached to it. And my Lord will see. And I read, I, Robert Joseph Metzl, say that I am the witness herein, and that I made this statement in respect of this presidential election petition, and that to the best of my knowledge and honest belief, paragraphs 1 to 16 of the witness statement are true to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief. My Lords, that on the face of this document means that the witness is swearing to only 16 paragraphs of the witness statement. Submit that paragraph 17 to 32 should be struck out as not part of his witness statement. My Lord, this is a very important issue because in our view, this witness statement and the statement of truth, show that the witness statement was first crafted up to 16. And it is only after the cross-examination of Professor White and the rest that these other 16 paragraphs have been added there.
When did Dr. Professor White leave the witness box?
He left the witness box on
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
Mr. Kutamba.
My lords, my lords, judicial notice of by counsel or solicitor. Look at that letter. But attached to the letter are two other letters, both dated 3rd of February. Gave the impression that the witness was so sick that we needed to have.
Mr. Kotombo, how are we supposed these submissions?
My lady, it is a fact that it was on the 13th, it was on the 3rd that they raised these concerns about.
So your submission is a paragraph 17 of
a typo error. It is indicative